This channel is dedicated to help you evolve consciously or become more aware of divine awareness or awaken spiritually. The term consciously evolved has two dimensions. One is to help you expand your divine consciousness or awaken spiritually. The second one is to be intentional about it, to consciously evolve and to purposefully expand your divine presence. The idea behind it is that we humans are of divine essence, having a human experience in this three-dimensional reality. That God, or the source consciousness, or all that is, the universe, however you want to call it, was born as a man, as a human being, to experience life here on earth through five senses. And somewhere down the road, as we evolved, we forgot our divine nature. This is the only purpose in life, to awaken that divine consciousness within you while you live here on earth as a human being. So the objective is for us to live from both divine and human awareness alongside with each other, because all the daily challenges and problems that we experience, all the pain and suffering, are due to this very fact that we have forgotten our divine nature, and we believe we are limited beings who cannot cope with life circumstances or who will eventually die and spend our lives in fear and suffering, instead of realizing that you are the divinity itself experiencing this life through human senses. And it is a beautiful thing indeed, and it is an important journey, the most important journey of your lifetime, of our life, live from these both natures. At birth, humans, through the law of forgetfulness, forget about our divine nature, forget about our past life experiences, and see life from the limited perspective. But awakening to our divinity will enable us not only to achieve success in all of the areas of life, but also to actualize our divine nature and find true fulfillment, which is spiritual awakening. After all, at the core of every kind of growth, including emotional, psychological, and so forth, is spiritual awakening. By spiritual awakening, I do not mean asceticism. I do not mean for you to go out there in the desert and live like a hermit, deprive yourself of all the earthly pleasures. I do not mean to sit under the Bodhi tree either, like the Buddha, and wait for enlightenment. No, real spiritual growth and awakening happen through living life on a daily basis, from minute to minute basis, from minute to minute, and experience life fully from both divine and human dimensions. Good news is that we do not have to go anywhere to find this divine awareness, this divine nature within us. It is present in all of us by default. It is an inseparable part of us as human beings. We just don't know what it is, and we don't know how to access it. We're not taught this anywhere. So my goal is to help you understand these principles and give you tools to actualize and awaken this spirit within you while living as a human being. So Jesus says in the Bible, "You are not of the world as I am not of the world." This goes back to exactly what I mentioned earlier, which is you are not of this world, even though you are living in it. You're just living, you're a divine being living this physical experience. And the goal is to awaken to your divine nature through this everyday life as a human being. Another similar quote is, "Be in the world, but not be of it," often attributed to the teachings of the Buddha. This means that we should actively and fully participate in worldly life. Think, feel, interact, do, create, build, and enjoy all that this life has to offer, while at the same time remaining detached from its desires, outcomes, and suffering. So how do we do that? How do we expand our consciousness? The first and foremost, the key is to become aware of yourself, to establish a relationship with yourself. Identify and become familiarized with your thought patterns, with your emotional patterns, with your beliefs, and with your attitudes and mindsets towards external world, people, and the environment, as well as towards yourself and your inner world, your inner relationship dynamics with the self and the divine. Another thing is that life itself provides you with opportunities for growth. We experience trouble, we have problems, we have challenges that we are faced challenges, problems in life that forces us to get out of our comfort zone and solve them. And every time we solve a problem, we transcend the level of awareness that created that problem and we grow from it. Well, of course, unless you surrender, you give up and feel defeated by your problems or decide a suicide or whatever to just leave life. But otherwise, every time we overcome a problem, we grow from it and we expand our consciousness and awareness. So these problems propel us to higher levels of awareness. The same goes with our relationships. When we transcend our relationships, when we solve problems, when we use our life challenges and relationship challenges as stepping stones to learn from and grow from, we transcend our human nature and become closer to our divine awareness. So life problems provide us with opportunities for growth. Another way we can gauge our spiritual evolution is through external life mirrors back to us our own inner world. Based on Hermetic teachings, what's within, so without, what's above, so below. This principle means that we manifest our internal reality in our external everyday life. In other words, what we have within, beliefs, ideas, mindsets, and attitudes we have about things and humans are exactly what we manifest in our everyday life. So if you're not happy with your results in life, you have only to look inside within to identify why you're manifesting these circumstances, including failures or bad toxic relationships, and shift inside so that you can see better results on the outside. For example, if you are not happy with your financial state, if you are not earning enough, yes, do take action outside, do change jobs or do whatever you need to do to improve your life circumstances in the financial area, but also look inside. In fact, first and foremost, look inside and identify what beliefs you have about money and about financial freedom. The same goes with relationships. Examine your beliefs about people, your beliefs about relationships, and then make shifts within. For example, if you believe that people are not trustworthy and reliable, this in your everyday life will show up as relationships where you always feel betrayed. Whether or not people betray you or not, whether or not someone thinks they betrayed you or not, you will always feel betrayed. So it's important for you to go deep down and examine your beliefs around relationships and around views of other people and how you show up in your interactions with others. In my future videos, I will provide you with other various methods and tools to help you in this journey. Tools that I have used myself. And you will try them all and then decide what works and what doesn't work. There are times where a certain tool helps you at a certain stage of your life with a particular kind of problem or challenge or over a short period of time, but then you move on to the next tool. Especially that today the gap between science and spirituality has been bridged. These tools are both scientific tools and also spiritual tools, including from the teachings of great religions of the world, as well as esoteric spirituality, wisdom. So how do you start the journey? You start your journey first by setting a goal that you will commit to this path. So where do you start? You start with a mission, making it your primary mission to grow spiritually and to expand your consciousness. This should be your primary purpose in life, and everything else should tie to this. That's how it is for me. For example, my sole purpose in life is to awaken spiritually, and everything else I do, including career success, financial success, relationships, anything, enjoying this life to the fullest, and giving others, revolves around this main goal of mine, which is achieve spiritual awakening, or at least awaken my divine awareness and live from that awareness. After all, and we've seen this in life over and over, no success is sustainable. No wealth, no relationships can bring full happiness, or at least permanent happiness, that we always will have the need to come back. And so no earthly success can make us feel fully fulfilled without this spiritual dimension. So how does growth happen? Spiritual growth, just as with every other growth in life, is not linear. It happens in zigzag motions. You zig and zag, and it also happens in a non-linear fashion, which is you may make progress, go 3 steps up, and then come down 2. Make 2 steps up and come down 3. But eventually, it's not a linear process. There will be times when you make progress, but then you come back and revert to your natural human states. And at times, it can get frustrating, and you can get disenchanted and get discouraged. But don't be discouraged, because growth is not a linear process. So you may feel you made some progress sometimes, you make some major shifts, but only to revert back to your normal being states later, experience failures or even bigger challenges than before. But don't be discouraged, because this is exactly how it's supposed to happen. First of all, as we grow and evolve, more difficult challenges you will be faced. More problems will be thrown at your way, more difficult ones. But again, every time you overcome them without giving up, maintain the spirit and the mindset of growth, you will move forward, and you will grow with every overcoming of the problem. It is also true that often you may not notice, and you may not realize that you are actually growing. So you have to be very mindful of changes that are happening in life. Again, observing shifts through the changes that are happening in our external reality is the key to gauging how you're growing in your spiritual awakening journey. So oftentimes it may feel that you're not making any progress, but if you think deep down, but if you look around, you will notice that your life is becoming more wholesome. You enjoy small moments more and more. You enjoy your relationships more. And most importantly, you have more peace of mind, and you're no longer attached to earthly problems of everyday life. These are signs of spiritual awakening, or these are signs of progress in your spiritual awakening journey. You will also notice that you attract quality people, the kind of people that you want and you resonate with. This does not mean that you will not go through difficult times. Again, difficult times and challenges will be happening, that those are part of life, but you'll navigate through them with more ease, and you will no longer resist them as something bad to fight, or you'll no longer demonize problems. Instead, you'll embrace them wholeheartedly and work to get through them. These dark times, often referred to as dark night of the soul, often come in life challenges, particularly the ones what we call hitting the rock bottom or dark night of the soul. They will still come, but they won't be as painful or as severe, because now you have this expanded awareness and you know the purpose these challenges and difficult times are serving for you. So you'll be more open to listen to the guidance these challenges have to offer you and navigate them with more ease and more open mind, becoming a more wholesome version of yourself. It is also possible that you will not experience as many problems and challenges in everyday life, as well as such deep existential crises as so-called dark night of the soul. Now that you are on this path of spiritual development, because you are intentionally working on your path, you intentionally challenge yourself, you intentionally create opportunities for you to grow and evolve. So life will no longer have you to overcome, for you to grow through overcoming them. I hope it makes sense. So you either willingly work on yourself and grow, set goals and achieve them, or set goals positively and achieve them, or continue living by default and experience life problems and grow based on how you respond to those life problems and challenges. But either way, you are growing, you are going there, one way or the other. You've also noticed that as we grow older, as life progresses and we grow older, humans experience more and more problems and more serious problems. What we call midlife crisis is the call from your higher self for you to awaken, to expand your awareness and live from that expanded awareness as a human being. But we do not respond to this call. We often do not even know what's happening in our life. Instead, seek pleasure and gratification through earthly achievements and relationships and objects. This is not sustainable and never works, as you might also have noticed. So the only way to live life is to make it your conscious intention to evolve spiritually, have a growth mindset, and work towards that mission through experiencing life fully and through setting goals and achieving them in all areas of your life. So to recap again, you are growing spiritually, whether you want it or not. It's that either you're doing it willingly, consciously, or you're doing it unwillingly or unconsciously, which means that life's problems and challenges force you to expand your awareness and consciousness after you solve them, thus grow spiritually, or choose the lighter path, the path that I'm suggesting and speaking about, which is you intentionally make it your life's mission and vision to grow spiritually and work towards it purposefully. This would look like setting goals in all areas of life, whether it's financial, career, relationship, family, recreational, business, creative work, and so forth, and achieve them while along the way deal with life's challenges like a warrior, like a trooper. Don't shy away from them. Be determined to learn something from every challenge and come out from the other way, come out on the other side victorious. Just know that when you're going through a challenge, that is only temporary, and that you are paying for some of your past karma, so to speak, and also you're being tested by life so that you become more resilient. So how does this process work? As I mentioned earlier, the first step is to make your spiritual awakening your life's primary mission. Everything else in your life will support this mission. Your growth and progress through relationships and your financial success will be indicative of the fact that you are evolving spiritually. In order for you to achieve this mission, it is important to create a routine, some kind of routine. I know many of us hate routines. I am one of them. But create some kind of framework in your life that will make you to come back to your mission, to refocus on your vision. For example, I did not develop a routine of maintaining meditation practice or yoga practice regularly. I've done it for certain periods of times, but my routines have been very changeable every so often. But I made my life challenges, negative emotions, and frustrations triggers to remind me of and realize the path that I'm on. So when I get caught up in life, even today, I get busy with work or having fun with friends or get caught up in family. Because I did not have any particular routines, I made problems that I was experiencing in life. I made any kind of conflicts and issues, as well as negative emotions, frustrations, sadness, triggers. I made these triggers for me to go inside within myself and seek higher dimensions within for comfort and expand from that. In other words, I made my life challenges and problems and negative emotions as my reasons and reminders to go deep within and access that divine guidance and that internal presence that's always within, and worked from there, worked my way through these challenges from within out. This is very interesting, but it really works because I could not make routines work. I used pain and frustration as my triggers to overcome, as my triggers and reminders that there is a higher dimension within that I should align with. But if you're someone who is good at keeping routines, maintain a healthy lifestyle. In addition to your physical workouts, incorporate meditation activities or yoga activities or whatever. It can include waking up in the morning and having a mini meditation session, all the way to coming from work loaded with all the stress and anxiety after all day's work, and sit down and do a short yoga session or meditation session to help you discharge and rebalance. Another step is clean up or heal your past. I cannot stress this step enough. In your spiritual journey, many of us focus only on daily routines and meditation sessions, but neglect to heal our past. It is important, in addition to having a purpose and the routines of our spiritual evolution, it is important to delve deep into our psyche and heal our past wounds, our childhood traumas that have stayed within us and are trapped at the cellular level. Based on neuroscience, our traumas, childhood traumas, and as well as collective trauma that we're born with, is trapped at the cellular level in our body. So even when we don't think about past problematic, painful moments, they are still there, trapped as energetic knots or stored energy at the cellular level, and are affecting us, our decisions, our choices, and our moods from moment to moment. So it's very important for us to go deep down, cut shadow, to go back in the past and heal our trauma or cleanup. This may include if you have any resentment towards your parents or primary caregivers, if you have any fears or insecurities about success or trust or any kind of problems. It also means healing your irrational fears of public speaking or lack of confidence in yourself to create something important and worthy of public attention. So whatever it is, your past painful moments and traumas, go back and heal them. This can be done through therapy. Choose a therapist that resonates with you, with your personality, your style, that aligns with your mission.